Oh, well, that's my morning exercises dealt with. Anyway, welcome to the channel, and in this video we are going to be showing you a December winter walk around the garden, a little bit of a garden tour. And I don't know if you remember what it looked like in the summer with those warm lights, the fragrant breezes, but no, those days are gone for sure. But if there's anything you're going to take away from this video, it is how rubbish this garden looks now, and hopefully you'll get a sense of superiority, simply because yours probably looks far better than ours. So with no further ado, let's take a little walk around and I'll show you what's happened, what's going on, and what we are going to be doing next. Well, as you've probably noticed, we have a lot of bags set up in the garden, and that's part of our winter protection system. And the first thing we're going to look at is a citrus tree that we have. It's a maize citrus, and it is supposed to be one of the hardiest of all the citrus plants. But this one has been temperamental. We've had it quite a few years, and it's done perfectly fine in a pot against a summer wall. But I put it into the ground last year or year before, hoping that it would actually perform a wee bit better, which it didn't. It performed worse. So we brought it out of the ground, back into a pot, and currently it's just over here. So right now it's just under this bag, and we have had some rather cold nights, but as you can see here, we've got it in a lovely sheltered area here, so it should be well protected. Let's have a quick look at it under the bag. Duck on a chair, and apart from being a wee bit squashed, I mean, I haven't put much effort into protecting this, but to be honest with you, that looks absolutely fine. Well, we've got this lovely pink phormium here, and this is doing very nice. I probably won't put too much effort into looking after this. I mean, really, if temperatures go down to below about 4 degrees, then I might put a bag on that. That's a tree dahlia that we covered up in an earlier video. You can see it's got a nice thick layer of dry mulch, so we've used bot chips in this case as a salvia. Some people cut these back later in the spring actually, but it looked very messy, so I've taken that down. We had a what's that, Ricinus communis here. Now the thick stem may well survive the winter. I've taken off the leaves because if you get leaves rotting on the plant, then they can be open to fungal infection, and those fungal infections can then pass into the main stem. So this is why this has been cut back. All the weak growth and all the leaves have been removed. Now, this under here is a Musa Basu, absolutely wonderful plant. You don't really see them for sale in garden centres, but you can pick them up at a reasonable price online at a good quality retailer. It takes a few years for them to come into flower, and those flowers are an incredibly handsome thing. I really do quite like it, but it will take between 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 years before the plant is mature enough to flower. So in order to get it through those years, extra winter protection. So again, we've got a thick layer of bark chips, we've got 3 or 4 layers of horticultural fleece, and just in case, a little baggie to protect it against cold winds, rain, and it helps with a bit more with the frost protection. Well, this is our main display bed. As you can see, our hardy banana, Musa Basu, is looking a wee bit worse for wear. I don't know if you remember how it looked like earlier in the summer, but this is how it looks now, completely shredded with the earlier storms. The frost has killed off all the leaves, and this is one of the last major plants that I need to do some winter protection with. And what I would do, you can see the stakes, they're roughly in place. What I'll do is I'm going to take off all these old leaves back to the pseudostem. The pseudostem is just a name for the trunk of the tree, and then I'll put some winter protection over that, which again will be another big bag. The giant cannas look absolutely knackered, so I'll be taking those out from the base. They don't need any real or any further protection on those. The Tetrapanax, I mean, that's again showing signs of cold damage, but again, unless it gets really cold, I'll probably just leave that as it is. The leaves will actually fall off naturally when they get fed up, but on the whole, I'm not too worried about that. The Arundinodonax grasses, I mean, again, they're knackered, and again, I'll just cut those back to the base. And if you're interested in what's under this bag here, that is the old Abyssinian banana, Enset ventricosum morellii. And once more, we've got I've took all the leaves off. It's got a thick layer of bark chips to protect the root system. The pseudostem has got several layers of fleece on it, and this bag on it, because I really want this to survive for next year. Okay, I've been a bit lazy. The tree ferns really haven't actually done anything with these yet, and I have actually been coping all right. There's a bit of cold damage on this leaf here. All I've done is just put a load of leaf in the crown, but I will at some point get all this wrapped up and covered and protected for the spring. But this is a plant we don't really talk about too much as we walk around the garden, and this is one of our camellias, and as you can see, oh look, you can see it has got masses of bud. It's got a really good green colour on it, and even there you can just see a little bit of colour showing through, but I don't expect this to go into proper bloom really until about February next year. We've got another camellia here again with masses and masses of bud. I think this one is Debbie, and when we moved into this property a couple of years ago, this thing was an absolute state. It was growing all over the gate into the field next door, and the problem is the canopy of this apple tree have been allowed to completely go over it and cause an awful lot of shade, but it's really picked up. We gave it a big old cut down there, I don't know if you can see that, and this year's really bounced back. Next week here we've got the old Bolivian Fuchsia. It's not got any other protection other than this bag. It has been hit by the cold, because you can see the leaves are a bit damaged. I'm hoping that the stems will be fine, it will grow back in the spring. Okay, under this one we've got Triacs. You've got to be careful with these Triacs. You do need to cover them up to make sure that you get that single flower spike going up, because if it gets damaged, cold damage or caterpillar damage, which is more common than you think, so this will have to come off periodically for me to have a look at. But if I don't protect this and I do lose the single spike, then really it's kind of wasted, because if it multi-stems up with spikes, those are weak points at the main stem and they can just snap off in the spring. And then this one here is the agave Americana that we planted earlier this year, and there's videos for all these things that we've done, so you can go back for our back catalogue if there's anything in particular you want to have a look at. But yeah, looking forward to this agave. But I think with this has been on for a while because it has been very cold, but if you have a mild period, as long as it's not raining, then I'll probably take that off. It's all looking a little bit sad through here, the osteospermums. I mean, you could argue to take them back, but I think when it's cold like this, if you do take them back, you tend to just kill off the plant. So I'm going to kind of leave it for now, and if it's still okay in the spring, then I'll chop it back and hopefully it will reflower. That's salvia hapstan. It's such a brittle plant, but such a beautiful flower. Now these are surprisingly hardy, so I've left this in. I left a bit of stem on it just in case. Hosta's died back. The fuchsia, I mean, that's fuchsia blackie. I really quite like fuchsia blackie, yeah. But now we did have a touch of fuchsia gourmet on it, which I'm hoping the freezing weather has knocked on the head, so we shall see. But I just let this die back naturally, and I'll probably just leave it. I probably won't cut this back either. I know you often cut back in early spring. I think I'll just leave those. Tree fern looks good. Again, another Ricinus, that's removed all the leaves and all the thinner branches. Under here, a bit lost. Aspidistra, great little plant. Can get knocked back if it gets too cold, but it's looking good at the moment. Now here in the tree we have one of several fascicularia bicolours, or commonly known as the hardy bromeliad, and even though it's sort of nestled in this sort of makeshift nest thing that we've made here, it's looking surprisingly good. I mean, they did suffer a bit last year with the cold, but they're looking really nice. And there's got another one up there, and there's another one in that tree over there. This dichondra, it didn't do very well, so I've sort of left this outside for its own devices just to see if it does come back in the spring. It can do if it doesn't get too cold over the winter. The big one, that's already inside under protection because I don't want to lose that one, but it looks a bit sad. I should probably just cut that off just to tidy it up. Fuchsia looks great, doesn't it? It's one of my favourite Fuchsias, and again in the summer, I mean, it's a bit east facing here, it's a bit protected, but for a plant that tolerates the shade, this one is fantastic. Is it a mistake? I thought this was going to be a bit tougher than it actually has proven itself to be, and I do have a couple of these, and one's inside, but I just don't have space for everything to go in, so I left it out, and I will leave it out all year. I'm just going to see how this copes with the spring, assuming it's still alive then. Well, the bamboo looks great, as you would expect it to do, and we've got a Tracky carpus palm again. This is absolutely solid. This will go down to about -12, -14. It really is absolutely rock solid. So tough is it that they even grow these now in Iceland. But we do have something which you might be surprised to see. Let me just show you. And there you go, it's an Aspidistra, commonly known as a cast iron plant, popular with the Victorians, and extremely tough, and often left outside down here on the south coast of the UK. And this is our one. We've had this for a couple of years now, and even though we've had those cold nights over the past few weeks, it looks surprisingly good. Well, as good as you can expect. Well, I hope you weren't expecting too much, because there really wasn't a lot to get too excited about. Yes, it is an exotic style garden, but at this time of year, most of the exotic stuff is either knackered or died back into the ground. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you've got anything that you would like to add to this video, then you absolutely can. We would love to hear from you. Just put down what you want to say in the comments. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.